I think we're there.
Are we good?
We are good.
We are good.
We're on.
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Texarkana Game Day Baseball. We are in the State Bank pregame show right now. We're getting pumped up for a crosstown rival, conference rival, between Pleasant Grove and Liberty Eylau. And we've got the man of the hour, Mr. State Bank and Game Day correspondent with us.
Right.
Mr. Jay here with us. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to be here. This rivalry has lasted long before these became district foes. I mean, this goes back many years, and it's always fun when you can play within your community, because after the game there's a little bragging rights that goes around town. And of course what's funny is most of these guys that are going to be facing each other tonight, they've been playing with each other on some of these travel teams, and there's going to be some good plays tonight, and I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And also tonight we've got the best producer in the do we say Arklatex or what? We've got Mr. Frank Sides.
World. Probably the best way to
the world.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Tony.
Yeah. No, I talked to the LE communications guy, and he said they sold every ticket they had available for this. So we should have 300 plus.
So we have a sellout.
We do.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and so we've had an opportunity to see both of these teams play so far, and actually streamed a game for each one of them so far, and I think both teams are very impressive.
Well, I think both teams can hit. So I think tonight's matchup's definitely going to come down to which pitchers do the best. And so I think we're probably going to see – I wouldn't be surprised if both teams put up more than 5 runs tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen both teams hit very well, and we've actually seen some good pitching between both teams.
We have. Bellatti's not going tonight. He pitched Tuesday, so we don't get to see him again. But I anticipate, like Jay said, a good game. Not a high-scoring game, but not a low-scoring game. And hopefully it's a one-run game like the last two.
Absolutely. And again, we are coming on a little early tonight. We've got our State Bank pregame show. And like I said just a minute ago, Mr. Jay Davis from State Bank. And so let's talk a little bit about State Bank.
Sure.
Being such a big sponsor for Texarkana Game Day from the very beginning, and just so many things y'all do throughout the community. Tell us a little bit about what else y'all do, and tell about what all y'all do.
Well, one of the things that we take pride in is, we allow all of our employees to be able to get involved in the community. And if you go, we've got a branch in Clarksville, we've got a branch in DeKalb, Atlanta, we've got a couple in Texarkana, Nash. We're going to be opening up one in New Boston here pretty soon. And if you go out probably about 60, 70 miles of Texarkana, we've got a banker who's somehow tied to every single school district.
Yeah.
And so the easiest thing for us to give back to the community is just within the school districts themselves. But, anytime that we, can get involved, you're going to see a State Bank banker there. And that's what's so fun about our job is it's not just an 8 to 5 job. I mean, we live it, even on the weekends, and get involved in different things in the community. And, it makes it fun. It's not just a job.
Yeah.
And so, we've got the support from our board of directors, our CEO, and it's just fun just to be able to get out there and do things like this.
Yeah.
And be able to give back, because it's, at the end of the day, we are our community. And so, when we can do things besides just offering banking products, maybe make an event, run a little bit smoother, or maybe raise a little money for an event, so that nonprofit can, be able to do and reach out, to the people that they take care of. It's always a fun thing. Yeah,
and just last night, speaking of helping out with other events and organizations, we had a Greater Texarkana Young Professionals event last night.
Redbone was
packed.
At.
Yes, and it was packed, and there were members from State Bank there, and employees and things like that. And man, they helped out, and it was a great event. First event we've been able to have since COVID came along last year, and man, State Bank just helped our organization just knock it out of the ballpark.
No, it's fun. Jason Ross, Natalie Copeland, Eric Kane. Who else went there? I know we had 5 or 6 folks there. Unfortunately, apparently I'm too old to be part of that Greater Texarkana Young, at the ripe age of 48. But, they do put on some great events. I actually played in a golf tournament that was sponsored by, State Bank last year for them. And, just being able to support those communities, because most nonprofits can take your dollar and multiply those with grants or other matching funds, and so it's really fun when we can get involved in something like that.
Absolutely. Well, we definitely appreciate everything that State Bank does for Texarkana Game Day and for the community, and we're glad that you could join us here, and glad that our pregame show is powered by State Bank tonight.
Absolutely.
So a little bit about the game. All three of us have seen them play. We're fans of both teams. I don't want to ask who you think is going to win tonight. I'm not going to put anybody on the spot.
Well, I can't go back home without saying Pleasant Grove. but I think it's going to be a very, very close game.
Do I need to put on my Liberty Eylau hat to counter?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we had one earlier.
Absolutely.
Put that on for us.
I can't. I've got this on. I don't want to mess up my hair.
That's a photo we want to have on file.
But I think that you're going to have a great game.
Yeah.
Could one of these teams bust out early? Possibly, but both teams have shown that they can come back and win a game. So I'm going to bet that no one's going to leave this baseball park early tonight.
Absolutely, and we can see, but you can't at home right now. There are people piling into the baseball field right now. The stands are almost packed, and we're getting ready for action here. And so in just a moment, we are going to turn it to the field announcer, and he is going to have the starting lineups for both teams. But we just want to say a big thank you to State Bank again and Jay for coming out and doing this with us. And we're going to finish up our pregame show by letting the field announcer take over the starting lineups.
First, the starting lineup for the visitors, the Pleasant Grove Hawks, with a district record of 1-0. Designated hitter number 20, Brendan Clark. Center fielder number 28, Brock Brendan. Right fielder number 6, Alex Galvan. Third baseman number 13, Alex Murphy. First baseman number 23, Tucker Anderson. Catcher number 2, Carson Head. Second baseman number 3, Josh Brown. Shortstop number 18, Blake Jennings. Left fielder number 4, Hayden Kohler. And starting on the mound for the Hawks, number 5, Nathan Hutchinson. The reserve for the Hawks, number 1, Reed Bingham. Number 7, J.M. Long. Number 8, McCartney Langford. Number 9, Carson Rhodes. Number 10, Traylon Couch. Number 11, Jaden Parker. Number 14, Cole Blaine. Number 15, Aiden Murray. Number 17, Hudson Twisdale. The Hawks are coached by head coach Riley Fisher. And now, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the field your Liberty Eylau Leopards. And shortstop number 5, Nate Moore. In left field number 20, Zach Rutt. Third baseman number 23, Dave Bellotti. Designated hitter number 2, Kobe Brooks. Second baseman number 1, Hunter Burke. First baseman number 21, Bryce Blackwell. Catcher number 10, Dylan Carton. Center fielder number 3, Braylon Blair. On the mound for the Leopards, number 16, Parker Goodman. Reserves for the Leopards, number 11, Grayson Battle. Number 4, Xander Hall. Number 15, Xander Worthy. Number 13, Austin Gonzalez. Number 12, Hannah Rankin. Leopards are coached by head coach Zach Fowler. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand and rise for the playing of the national anthem.
Good afternoon. We are here at the home of the Liberty Eylau Leopards as they are coming into today's action 2-0 in district. They will be the home team this afternoon against crosstown rivals, the Pleasant Grove Hawks, who are also 2-0 in district. So someone will come away tonight with their first district loss. I'm Brian Bolt, and I'm joined by my co-pilot Frank Sides. We just got done with our State Bank pregame show, and you heard the starting lineups for both teams. And now, as the pitcher takes the mound for his warm-up pitches, we're getting ready for action. Frank, just like we say every time, but actually today it's true. It is the perfect day for baseball.
It really is, and we're going to regret saying that here in about 45 minutes, I bet. But
Absolutely.
So far, it is ideal weather.
Absolutely.
And the wind is behind us tonight instead of in our face, so that's a positive.
Yep, right now it's about 65 degrees. The sun is still shining. The wind is blowing a little from our left to right as we look at the flags out in the outfield. Again, if you didn't follow us last time on our broadcast, a little bigger field here at Liberty Eylau. Straight to dead center, we are at 385, and down the lines we're at 335. And so to get one out in center, you really have to get a hold of one.
That's right. How many years ago did you stop being able to do that?
A long time ago. It was a long time ago.
I'm not sure I could get a 7-iron over that right now.
I hear you. I hear you. So we've seen both of these teams play so far this year. Good-looking kids and two good-looking ball clubs here, and so I expect nothing but a great matchup tonight.
Absolutely. The thing that I took away from both teams was the fact that there are no wasted at-bats. Everything is challenged, and looks like we're underway here.
Absolutely.
I expect to see the same thing tonight. Do you have updated stats for us? Brenton Clark leading off for Pleasant Grove before last game was batting over 400, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, Brenton Clark, it looks like, let's see here. Let's see what Mr. Clark's doing. Here he is. We've got him in at 306 right now.
There we go. He's DHing tonight. First pitch from Liberty Eylau starting pitcher Parker Goodman is a little high for ball one. That's a big kid out there in the middle.
That is. Pleasant Grove comes into the night with wearing the all black trimmed in gold, and Liberty Eylau wearing all white trimmed in maroon. Both teams looking good, and we've got our first strike of the night. Swung on and fouled down the third base line, and that'll even the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Parker Goodman delivers a fastball a little high, and the DH, Brenton Clark, takes ball number 2. Goodman delivers to the plate. A fastball on the outside corner, going to be ball number 3. Going to move the count to 3 balls and 1 strike here in the top of the first inning. Another fastball, belt high, going to be fouled over the backstop, going to even the count, going to bring up a full count. 3 balls and 1 strike to the leadoff hitter, number 20, Brenton Clark.
He was on that, Mr. Bolt. Fouled straight back. He's got that fastball time. Let's see what happens here on the payoff pitch.
So here's one down the middle, and it's going to be hit hard to the shortstop across the diamond for the first out. That is number 20, Zach Brush. The hard hit from the designated hitter, number 20, Brenton Clark, right to number 20, Zach Brush, the shortstop for Liberty Eylau. A nice snag by him and across the diamond to Bryce Blackwell for out number 1 here in the top of the first inning. That's going to bring up the second batter of the night, number 28, the the center fielder, Brock Bearden. And he'll take strike number 1.
There's our 400 hitter. I believe he's hitting 409 tonight, right? Yep.
Called strike on the outside corner, going to bring up 2 strikes on Bearden. And yes, Brock Bearden actually leads the team right now with an average of 409. Fastball down the middle, going to be a little high, called for ball number 1. Going to bring the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Looks like that 0-2 pitch from Goodman there had a little cut on it, but it did stay a little high.
Goodman delivers.
There's a breaking ball.
Into the dirt. And Bearden did not bite. That's going to even the count up to 2-2.
That's a good waste pitch on 1-2. See
Absolutely.
If you can get the best hitter on the team flailing away there.
And if you can see on our cameras what nice hair Goodman's got going on. Going to be fouled back over the first base dugout. The count's going to stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the first inning. Goodman delivers to the plate. A fastball going to be fouled over the first base dugout once again. Goodman with good command of his fastball so far. For those of you watching at home, there's still time for you to get out to the ballpark. There is a large crowd that is gathered here. The third foul ball over the first base dugout. Still have a count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to number 28, Brock Bearden. Goodman delivers. A low fastball going to be swung on and missed and caught by number 10, Dylan Garton. And that's going to be out number 2. And so 2 up, 2 down for the Liberty Eylau Leopards so far here in the top of the first inning. That's going to bring number 6, Alex Galvin, to the plate. First pitch going to be a fastball down in the zone for ball number 1.
Alex is playing right field tonight for Pleasant Grove.
I like those black uniforms.
I do too. He was our starting pitcher last broadcast. If you recall, toughed it out after a tough start, leaned on the curveball a little bit and really kept him in the game.
Absolutely,
that
sure
led to a
did.
victory.
Sure did. A good, strong outing by him. So the second one a little high, going to be ball number 2. Goodman delivers. It's going to be a high chopper to second base. Ron Garza is going to get it over to first base for the 3rd out of the inning. And after 1/2 of play on no hits, no errors, and no runs scored, the Liberty Eylau Leopards are trotting into the dugout and going to bring up the bottom of the first inning. And the Pleasant Grove Hawks are going to come to bat. And so like we talked about in the pregame, not only are these guys cross-town rivals, but also conference rivals in 15-4A here in the state of Texas. The PG Hawks are 12-3 so far overall on their season. They are 2-0 in conference. The Leopards come into the night's matchup with 10 wins and 2 losses, also 2-0, and so someone will take home their first conference loss at the end of tonight's game. And after 1/2 of an inning, a great showing by the Liberty Eylau Leopards.
Let's knock on wood there. Barring a 15-inning affair, they have to shut down due to darkness or midnight rolling around.
Absolutely.
Yes, we should have a winner tonight. It's been a long week, and let's hope we have a winner.
So as Pleasant Grove takes the field with their all-black uniforms trimmed in gold.
That is a sharp look.
Yeah, the lefty, number 5, Nathan Hutchison, who right now is their leading pitcher for the season. He trots to the mound. Good-looking kid, got the mullet out the back as well. I think that's the thing now. I think it has been for a little while.
I tried to pull that off.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm 18 years past that. Even being remotely a good idea.
Absolutely.
All right, the shortstop, Nate Moore, going to lead off for Liberty Eylau.
Yeah, and also, you know, I like the white unis too, the classic white icy look. So
I do too. And
both
I really
teams
like the
looking
white
good.
long sleeves on it too. So Nate's got a good look. First pitch is put in the play to the shortstop. Fields it fairly easily and makes the throw to first.
And number 18, Blake Jennings for the Hawks. Takes a nice strong ground ball and throws across to number 23, Tucker Anderson for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 down here in the bottom of the first inning for the Hawks.
On one pitch, that's
On
the way
one
you want
pitch,
to start your
exactly.
outing. That's going to bring up Zach Brush playing left field for the Leopards.
Nathan Hutchison's going to throw a fastball low, not called a strike.
Half the crowd thought that was a pretty good pitch.
The half that's on the side we're sitting on right now.
Correct, yeah.
Second pitch from Hutchison. Going to be somewhat of an off-speed pitch there. Going to be fouled down to the first base dugout and going to even the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Another off-speed pitch, swung on and missed for strike number 2.
I'd like to know if that's a changeup or a little cutter. Either way, it looks like it works the same way.
Absolutely. So with 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning, number 20, Zach Brush, with 2 strikes, and an off-speed outside going to bring the count even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hutchison, the lefty, delivers to the plate. A fastball low, going to bring up another full count to the left fielder, number 20, Zach Brush for Liberty Eylau. Right down the middle, going to be drove out to center field. And the right fielder, number 6, Alex Galvin, will come over and make the out for out number 2. And big number 23 comes to the plate, Tucker Anderson.
That's blasphemy. That's Gage Bellotti. Tucker Anderson's Pleasant Grove's big number
I'm
23.
sorry, excuse me. They both got 2 big number 23s.
They do. Their big sticks are both 23.
Wow.
Luckily, all the folks are watching in person and not listening to us at Liberty Eylau right now.
Well, Tucker Anderson plays first base and Gage Bellotti plays third, but nonetheless, I got them mixed up there, but they are both big, big kids. Gage was actually the pitcher that we saw last game. Will be playing third base tonight, but he takes his second pitch for ball number 1. That will even the count to Bellotti, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Oh, that looked good.
Somewhat of an off-speed pitch there, not going to be called a strike. Brings up 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, that's got to be some sort of cutter or slider that's moving away off the outside corner.
Same pitch, it looked like, driven high into center field. Brock Bearden makes easy work of it, and just like that, 3 up and 3 down for the Hawks here in the bottom of the first. And so after 1 inning, there are no hits, no errors, and our score is still 0-0 as we finish up 1 inning, and we'll be back here live at Hawk Field.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
All right, we're back. We're a little late from commercial break, missed the first pitch, but it was fouled over the first base dugout. Second pitch from Goodman is called a ball. Looks like it may have been a little high. This is Alex Murphy, your third baseman for Pleasant Grove, with his first plate appearance tonight. So far, no hits, no runs, no errors, through one. Parker Goodman's delivery looks like a curveball. It's going to stay away. The 2-1 is looped into center for our first base runner tonight.
And so maybe since I've got my paperwork straight now, I can quit calling the kids for the wrong team. And we are not at Hawk Field tonight. We are at Leopard Field.
Okay. While you're away.
And big number 23.
Now we see big 23. This is Gage, but I'm messing with you. This is Tucker Anderson, first baseman for Pleasant Grove. I saw him taking BP a little earlier, and I think he can get one out of here tonight if he gets a hold of it.
I think he can.
First pitch from Goodman's a little high and tight. Alex Murphy with the single to lead us off up the middle. Doesn't look like he's real interested in taking a huge lead over there. Not with this guy up. It's hit fairly well to left center. And the left fielder, Zach Brush, is going to put that away for our first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Hawks, catcher number 2, Kason Head.
That's going to bring up Kason Head. He's catching tonight.
A great game by Kason Tuesday when we were over at Pleasant Grove as he comes up to bat.
Alex Murphy takes off. Not a great jump, and he is out by a few steps. Nice throw down by the catcher Dylan Garton for our second out of the inning.
So with one strike, that brings up out number 2. Goodman delivers to the plate, a breaking ball outside in the dirt. Going to even the count up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's a pitch going to be driven into center field. And easy work for number 3, Braylon Blair. And so again, in the top of the second, just as the first, 3 up and 3 down. Going to be easy work for Parker Goodman. And the Hawks will trot back out on the field as number 5, Nathan Hutchison, takes the mound again for the second inning.
While we've got a moment, we'd like to thank Texarkana Emergency Center. Our other main sponsor has been with us for for the long haul since day one. So if you're watching and you just happen to be in need of emergency services, stop watching and drive to Texarkana Emergency Center. Actually,
And so just a little bit about both teams while we've got a break here. Some of their offensive leaders for Liberty Eylau, number 4, Nate Moore, is leading the team with a batting average of .489. Not too far behind him is Gage Bellotti with a .438 batting average.
sorry, did I hear a 489?
.489 for number 5, Nate Moore, yes. And so he's pretty clutch.
Well, all right, yeah.
And following out the top 3 for Liberty Eylau is number 1, Hunter Burks, who's got a .344. And Pleasant Grove, of course, Case and Head, Brock Bearden, and Traveler Couch comes into the top 3 after his nice game the other night. He's in at .381. Case and Head with .424. He leads the team right now. And Brock Bearden with 18 hits, 9 RBIs, and a .409 batting average.
Going to bring up Colby Brooks. He's the DH tonight for Liberty Eylau. First pitch to Brooks is taken for a ball low. Colby is hitting .282 this year with a .404 on base. I don't have a slug or a home run number, but something tells me just based on the fact that he's hitting cleanup and how he looks when he does hit it, they stay hit, Brian.
Absolutely. And pitch number 2 is high for a ball. Going to bring the count to 2 balls and no strikes to number 2, Colby Brooks. That fastball is going to catch the knees for strike number 1. Nice fastball there by number 5, Nathan Hutchison. Hutchison gets his sign. The lefty delivers to the plate. Going to be an off-speed pitch in the dirt. Bring the count to 3 balls and 1 strike to Colby Brooks. And so ball number 4 is going to take number 2, Colby Brooks, the designated hitter, down to first base. Going to bring up number 1, Hunter Burks. Hunter Burks comes in with a .344 batting average. Got the 3rd best batting average on the team so far. The pitch from the lefty, a nice off-speed pitch. Going to even the count at no balls and 2 strikes.
Hey, Brian, I was handling a crowd
Here to
mic
Burks.
issue. How did Colby reach base? Was that a walk?
Ball 4. Burks takes a breaking ball low for ball number 1. So it's Colby Brooks over at first. Gets a good lead with the lefty, Nathan Hutchison, on the mound. Hutchison comes to the plate. Going to be a fastball outside, called for ball number 2. Going to even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Coach Riley Fincher letting the umpire know that he wants that call from here on out. We'll see if he gets it. Hutchison delivers. Off-speed pitch on the outside. Going to bring up a full count to number 1, the second baseman, Hunter Burks. The pitch going to be outside and given for ball number 4, and Coach Fincher is going to call time and make his way out to the mound. So we've got a little polka music or whatever this is here with Coach Fincher coming out to the mound.
Well,
always great when visiting coaches go out to the mound.
It is. mentioned on the broadcast last time we were here, I heard Johnny Cash 5 times, and now I've heard a polka song.
Is this polka? Is that what they call it?
I don't know. I really don't.
I'm not really sure.
Our producer, this is his type of jam, so I'll ask him. Is this something the baby produces? You got a kick out of that.
And so as Coach Fincher comes off the field, Nathan Hutchison will step in the box, and Coach Fowler calls time, wants him to step out. He wants to make sure that his call is being taken care of.
It's going to bring Bryce Blackwell to the plate. He's playing first base tonight, and I've got a hunch we're going to see a bunt here to the third baseman. What do you think, Bryce?
If he can bunt.
And I was very wrong.
He's going to swing on, and that is fouled back over the backstop for strike number 1 to Bryce Blackwell.
Lefty on left here. You may be right. I haven't tried to bunt a slider from a left-handed pitcher in a really, really long time. It's not something that's all that easy to do.
And so Hutchison gets his sign, delivers to the plate. A fastball going to be check swung by number 21, Blackwell, and he's going to foul that to the backstop for strike number 2.
This is a big, big out for Nathan Hutchison.
Absolutely. There's one lined into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit, and Coach is going to stop the runner on third. And just like that, Bryce Blackwell lines one into right field, and that's going to juice the bases for the Leopards. And here's your Johnny Cash.
There it is. And that was that breaking ball. He did attempt to throw that thing there in the dirt, but he hung it a little bit, stayed up, and that was a really nice job by Bryce Blackwell staying on that, line it into right field for a single.
Absolutely, right over the first baseman's head into right field.
Now we've got something cooking here for Liberty Eylau. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Number 16, Parker Goodman.
The pitcher struggling with his command just a hair, so. Deep
Hutchison
breath.
to the plate.
There's that
Breaking ball, swung on and missed by the opposing pitcher.
That didn't look like the swing
Parker
of a young
Goodman.
man that was trying to hit a grounder to second to score a run, did it?
Absolutely. He was going to hit that Texas flag out there in left field. So Hutchison to the plate with 1 strike. Off-speed pitch on the outside corner. It is called a strike this time, and quickly Parker Goodman has 2 strikes.
You don't come to the plate to Johnny Cash and slap a single to right field,
That's
do you?
right. Number 5, Nathan Hutchison delivers to the plate. An off-speed pitch going to be low in the dirt for the first ball of the at-bat. Brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. The lefty to the plate. Breaking ball, swung on and missed for strike number 3 and out number 1 of the bottom of the second inning. And so with 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning, the bases are loaded here at Leopard Field, the campus of Liberty Eylau High School here in Texarkana, Texas.
For the catcher, Dylan Garton.
Off-speed pitch, going to be low in the dirt for ball number 1. If you're watching at home, make sure that you share this video around, or if you'd like to get out and enjoy the beautiful weather, there's still standing room only. So as number 5, Nathan Hutchison, the lefty, delivers another fastball into the dirt. Going to be 2 balls and no strikes. To number 10, Dylan Garton, who is the catcher for Liberty Eylau tonight. The pitch, gonna hop over the pitcher. Gonna be an out at first base, but not after number 2, Colby Brooks, crosses home plate for the first run of the night. And so an RBI for number 10, Dylan Garton, and he put the ball in play over the pitcher's head. And that's going to drive in the first run tonight for the Leopards. And so with 2 outs, the Leopards take the lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the second inning.
That was a really good job by Garton there, putting that ball in play and getting a run home. It's going to bring up Braylon Blair, playing center field tonight for LE. Men on second and third, 2 men in scoring position with 2 down. It's going to take a hit or a wild pitch to score one here.
So first pitch called strike to him. Hutchison, the lefty, delivers to the plate. Same pitch,
There's that wild
and
pitch.
you called it. Gets by the catcher, case and head. And just like that, Liberty Eylau takes a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. With number 3, Braylon Blair, who is the center fielder for the Leopards, steps in with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Fastball going to be fouled over the backstop for strike number 2.
And you know, Brian, that's the only real downside to leaning on breaking balls when you're in a little bit of trouble. You can bounce those quite often, and sometimes they just take funny hops, and the catcher can't make a play on it. So.
Fastball low and in the dirt for ball number 2 to Blair. And so with 2 balls and 2 strikes, there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. The Leopards leading 2-0.
2-2-2-2.
And that's going to be fouled into the catcher's mask, not caught. So Blair will live for another pitch. The count still at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And you see it a ton, Brian. You just make just enough contact to stay alive, and the next pitch you find a way to get that run home. Timeout
Called at home plate. A little late there, but the umpire did give it to him. Number 21, Bryce Blackwell, does stand on third base with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. The pitch from Hutchison going to be
lines
poked.
it into right center field for a single.
It's going to be poked into right field, and number 3, Braylon Blair, gets an RBI single and brings home Bryce Blackwell. And so with 2 hits here in the inning, Liberty Eylau takes a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, Brian, like I said, just
And the
doing
leadoff
enough to stay
hitter
alive.
Gets hit with the very next pitch, and number 5, Nate Moore, the shortstop, trots down to first. And number 3, Braylon Blair, goes to second. And so with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning, got a runner on first and second for number 20, the left fielder, Zach Brush. And a nice fastball on the inside part of the plate called for strike number 1.
I mentioned it in the pregame, Brian. Just these 2 teams, the fight they give you every at bat, and it shows how you benefit from that. Just doing enough to stay alive in the next pitch, getting something you could handle, but dumping it into right field and getting your team on the board for a 3rd run instead of ending the inning.
So an off-speed pitch there, going to come in low to bring the count to even, 1 ball and 1 strike. With a nice crowd here on the campus of Liberty Eylau. On the off-speed pitch in for strike number 2. It's a pretty good crowd.
It is.
Standing room only.
Crowd we could have had just a few months ago.
Absolutely. And so with 1 ball and 2 strikes, Hutchison delivers to the plate, an off-speed pitch, and he's going to get number 20, Zach Brush. And so with 2 left on and 2 hits in the inning, the Liberty Eylau Leopards score 3. We are headed to the top of the 3rd inning. We're going to stay here with you through this break, and now I'm being told no, we're not. We're going to go to a short commercial break.
Commercial.
And we'll be right back.
How do you measure success? it's in wins or trophies. At Shelter Insurance, we measure success in the quality of our products and services, in our community support, in being there when you need us most. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Brian Bolt in Texarkana.
How do you measure success?
And welcome back this afternoon. It's a beautiful day for baseball. We are here at the home of the Leopards, live with Texarkana Game Day. You can find us on Facebook or YouTube. Make sure you share the post and let everyone know that you can find this game live right now. A huge crowd here at Liberty Eylau. Both teams bringing large crowds with them. And Liberty Eylau leads the Pleasant Grove Hawks 3-0 as we enter the top of the third inning.
That's right. And Goodman's 1-0 pitch, his 0-1 pitch is in there for a strike, but it's popped in the center field and the play's made. I'm always interested to see how a pitcher responds when his team spots him a few early runs. So far, so good for Mr. Goodman.
And that was number 3, Josh Brown, that popped out to shallow right field. And so with 1 out, that's going to bring up number 18, the shortstop, Blake Jennings, for the Hawks. Strike number 1 from Parker Goodman, still on the mound, heading into the third inning.
Between innings, something tells me Coach pounded into Mr. Goodman's head. Strikes, strikes, strikes. Make them earn their way on.
The ball going to be hit down into foul territory. It's going to bring up an 0-2 count to the shortstop, Blake Jennings. So as the umpire trots and gets a ball off the field that was not found, we will be back to play with no balls and 2 strikes to Blake Jennings. Goodman delivers. Fastball outside, called for ball number 1.
You know, people use different earmarks for different things, but for me, Brian, I know it's baseball season when 7:15 rolls around and the sun's still out.
That's right.
That's how I know. And I'm very thankful the sun is out right now.
And a high fastball swung on by Jennings for strike number 3. That's going to bring up the second out of the inning, and to the plate, number 4, Hayden Kohler, the left fielder for the Hawks tonight.
Things are starting out pretty well for Mr. Parker Goodman after his team spotted him 3 that inning. Strike, strike, strike. 8 up, 8 down for Pleasant Grove.
So the first pitch to Kohler is fouled over the backstop for strike number 1. And Parker Goodman, the pitcher for Liberty Eylau, has not done anything overpowering. He's just throwing good enough strikes that he's letting his defense work behind him and not get himself into a bad situation. So a good job for him just pounding the strike zone, and it's either called strike or they're hitting the ball. And as a pitcher, that's really what you'd like to do, unless you have a 92-mile-an-hour fastball to blow by people. And a nice fastball there, and boy, did I jinx him for the first hit of the night. Excuse me, the second hit of the night for the Pleasant Grove Hawks. That's going to be lined into the gap between third baseman and the shortstop, and so.
And not only was that ball put in play, Brian, it was hit really well.
Number 4, Hayden Kohler for the Hawks will make his way down to first base.
Looks like he's
and number 20, the leadoff designated hitter, Brenton Clark, is at the plate. A first pitch breaking ball down to the first base coach, who bobbles it.
And one of the things I noticed covering the Pleasant Grove game earlier this week is they love to run. Everybody on first base at some point is going to take off for second tonight. We saw it already.
Dylan Garton has already gotten 1 runner that he's thrown out tonight, and so as Parker Goodman throws over to first base. Number 4, Hayden Kohler, slides back in safely. Parker Goodman to the plate, right down the middle for strike number 2. And quickly, number 20, the designated hitter, Brenton Clark, is in a hole with no balls and 2 strikes. Goodman delivers to the plate. The runner goes, going to be outside and no throw down.
Here we go, baby, do the job right here.
So Hayden Kohler trots down to second base, and no throw from Dylan Garton. Going to put a runner in scoring position with 2 strikes here on the designated hitter, Brenton Clark. As time is called, Garton will trot out to talk to his pitcher, Parker Goodman. Make sure they're on the same page. So Goodman to the plate. A fastball high over the catcher's glove is going to bring Hayden Kohler all the way around to third base. And so 2 stolen bases for Kohler. 1 on a no throw and 1 on a wild pitch. Kohler is going to stand on third. And the first run of the inning is a base hit away. Parker Goodman on the mound. Delivers and blows it right by number 20, Brenton Clark. And he didn't mind the runner on third. He just threw his fastball right down the middle and said, here you go, hit him in if you want to. And so after the top half of the third inning, there was 1 hit, 1 man left on base, and no runs scored by Pleasant Grove. And we'll go to the bottom of the third with the Liberty Eylau Leopards coming to bat, leading the game right now with 3 runs.
Yes, and if you're watching, happen to be watching, and you live on the Arkansas side of the state line, contact Shelter Insurance, Agent Brian Bolt, for all your insurance needs, whether that be automotive, home insurance, boat insurance. I bet Mr. Bolt could hook you up with just about any kind of insurance you need.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you are over on the Arkansas side and you do happen to shop for some insurance, one of our sponsors that's on your screen right now is Lanyap Specialty Meats. They are right next door to Shelter Insurance. And so we appreciate them for being a sponsor of Texarkana Game Day. And you can get all of your meats at your Cajun Connection there on the Arkansas side for all of Texarkana. And Bobby Duhan, owner, does a great job over there with plate lunches every week and just great specialty meats. So check them out, and we appreciate them for being a sponsor. And so as big number 23 for LE, Gage Bellotti comes to the plate, batting from the left side. He drills one down the first base line, going to be called foul. That's going to even the count to 1 ball and 1 strike to Gage Bellotti. Nathan Hutchison still on the mound tonight for the Hawks. And this one's going to be down for a base hit down the third base line, and Gage Bellotti is going to have his first hit of the night. He sits back on a breaking ball and punches it the opposite way, right over the head of the third baseman and right inside of the foul line for the third hit of the night for the Leopards. So the leadoff batter, Gage Bellotti, trots down to first base, and that's going to bring up number 2, the designated hitter, Colby Brooks. Brooks tries to lay down the bunt, but doesn't get it down. And that's going to be strike number 1 to the DH, Colby Brooks. Hutchison, the lefty, delivers. Going to be a off-speed pitch on the outside corner. It's going to miss a little bit, and it's going to be ball number 1. Going to even the count out at 1 ball and 1 strike. Gage Bellotti stands down at first base. Colby Brooks at the plate. An off-speed pitch hangs the top of the strike zone and going to be called for strike number 2 to the designated hitter, Colby Brooks. So fouled over the backstop. Brooks gets on one there. Still the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner on first base. Hutchison, the lefty, delivers. Gage Bellotti will stay at first base. That's going to even the count at 2-2. Time's going to be called at the plate. Number 2, Colby Brooks, thought that Nathan Hutchison, the pitcher for the Hawks, was taking a little too long. He calls time and steps out to take a little break of his own. Here's a pitch. And it's going to be down in foul territory and not caught. It will drop for a foul ball. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If you get a chance tonight, when you're interviewing coaches, if you get a chance to talk to Liberty Eylau coach, I'd like to ask him the difference between strategy last week and this week. Played a little small ball last week, and then when they had the rally in the second inning, bases loaded, bottom of the order up, they chose to swing away. You know, I'd like to know not necessarily why, but the thought process behind it, you know?
Well, early in the game scenario, you know, it depends on which hitters you have up and things like that. But, you know, I'll make sure I ask him, see if he gives the same answer.
Okay, looks like we might have reached a pitch count limit here. We've got a pitching change in the middle of an at-bat. Number 7, J.M. Long is going to come in and relieve our starter, who was Nathan Hutchison.
Yeah. And so a righty going to come in.
Number 7, J.M. Long.
Number 7, J.M. I wonder if that's John Mark.
Could be anything. Could be Jeremy Michael.
Well, nonetheless.
I know it's not Brian or Frank, I can assure you that.
That's exactly right.
Or more likely, John Michael.
But ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, just for your treat tonight, halfway through the game in the top of the 4th inning, we will have joining Frank on the headset, Mr. Jay Davis, to do the top of the 4th inning, and if he'd like to stay for the bottom of the 4th inning. But we want to make sure that you go and see your friendly faces over at State Bank.
Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug in the 3rd headset. We're all going to do it.
Absolutely.
Our producer loves these on-the-fly changes, I'm sure.
I was actually really looking forward to a hot dog.
Oh, well, that's fine. Star of the show seems like he'd eat before he got here, right?
I'm trying to eat as little as I can right now, so.
All right, Mr. Bolt, I'm messing with you. First pitch from JM is outside for a ball. It's going to be a full count. Runner on first, no one out. This is Colby Brooks at the plate, your designated hitter tonight.
And a nice breaking ball, but not in there for a strike. Here's going to be a fastball. Going to miss the top of the strike zone and the 2nd consecutive walk of the inning. So with no outs, number 2, Colby Brooks, the designated hitter, will trot down to 2nd. And so with Gage Bellotti on 2nd and Colby, he'll head down to 1st. That's going to bring up number 1, the 2nd baseman, Hunter Burks.
I just saw Mr. Burks grip the barrel of his bat with his right hand, practicing his bunt stance, and here we are.
And a wild pitch going to get away from number 2, Kaysen Head, and both runners will advance. So with no outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, Liberty Eylau is knocking on the door
That's right. They got him to
scoring
second,
some
third,
more runs.
the easy way there.
Absolutely. Gage Bellotti down to third, and Colby Brooks over to second, with Hunter Burks, who is in the top 3 of batting averages on the team, standing at the plate with 1 ball and no strikes.
Looks like the bunt's
Ball,
still on.
or the next pitch low in the strike zone, going to be called for ball number 2.
And if he can bunt this ball just about anywhere but back to the pitcher, they should score a run here.
So let's see if he continues to try to lay down the bunt here for Liberty Eylau. And he will. And he fouls it right in front of us to the backstop, as Coach Fincher, with great form, trots out to get the foul ball. Going to be the first strike to Burks. J.M. Long delivers to the plate a fastball. A nice block by Kaysen Head to prevent another run from coming in to score. And the count's 3 balls and 1 strike, with number 7, J.M. Long, in the ball game for the Hawks now. Long delivers, and it's going to be hit to the third baseman. And if number 23, Gage Bellotti, would have come home, he would have been safe. Number 13, Alex Murphy, had a hard time there getting that ball out of his glove, bobbled it around long enough for number 1, Hunter Burks, to make it down to first. They are going to count that as the first error of the night for the Hawks. And so with the bases loaded, once again,
With no one out, once again.
number 21, Bryce Blackwell, the first baseman for the Leopards, comes to the plate, and his first pitch is a low fastball for ball number 1.
That ball was hit really well by Mr. Burks, just unfortunately right at the third baseman, so the runner wasn't able to score, but the bobble allows him to reach base, and Liberty Eylau is cooking here with bases loaded, no one out.
The second pitch, a high fastball, out of the zone, but swung on and missed by Blackwell. That will even the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Bryce singled in the first and scored a run, or the second, I'm sorry.
A little under the knees, going to be called for ball number 2. And so 2 balls and 1 strike to the first baseman from Liberty Eylau, Bryce Blackwell. The next pitch hits him on the leg, and that'll score the 4th run for Liberty Eylau. And as Bryce Blackwell limps down to first base, number 23, Gage Bellotti, will come in to score the 4th run. And that hit
Bryce Blackwell
right on the knee. And so he is trying to get a little of the pain to wear off, so maybe he can run some bases here. And
that's going to give Parker Goodman an opportunity to redeem himself a little bit. He, in the last inning, came to the plate with the bases noted, no one out, same exact situation as he did here. Struck out swinging. Let's see if he can put a ball in play and get him on the board. Liberty Eylau leads 4-0.
And the breaking ball hung up high in the strike zone for ball number 1. A fastball in the strike zone called for strike number 1 will even the count up with 1 ball and 1 strike to number 16, Parker Goodman. So with the bases loaded and no outs, Parker Goodman at the plate. A fastball low for ball number 2. The next pitch from J.M. Long is going to be high for ball number 3. And so for the opposing pitcher, Parker Goodman, standing at the plate with a 3-1 count and the bases loaded with no one out. There's ball number 4, and that's going to score another run for the Liberty Eylau Leopards. And as number 2, Colby Brooks crosses the plate for the 5th run of the night, Coach Riley Fincher goes out and calls for the bullpen. And that's going to be number 9, Carson Rhodes. That's going to trot in for the Hawks to take the mound. And so the 3rd pitcher coming in, number 9, Carson Rhodes.
New pitcher on the mound for the Hawks, number 9, Carson Rhodes.
We'd like to make sure to give a big thanks to another sponsor of ours here at Texarkana Game Day, Rocasa Organics. You can find them online at rocasaorganics.com.
All right, here for the rest of the bottom of the 3rd, we're going to be joined by Jay Davis, our State Bank rep. Been with us at game day since day 1. How are you tonight, Jay?
Doing well. Pleasant Grove is needing to stop the bleeding. Trailing 5-0 with bases loaded and no outs. Brand new pitcher, Carson Rhodes.
As Dylan Garton, the catcher for Liberty Eylau, comes to the plate. He came up with the bases loaded last inning, grounded to shortstop, but it got a run home. The 1-0 pitch misses high.
And I would imagine he would be just as happy with that again.
Hey, compete. Let's go, compete.
2-0 pitch. It's in there for a strike. By number 9, Carson Rhodes.
I think right now just the confidence of being able to get some strikes in there, get out of this inning.
There we go. That's in there for a strike. Evens the count at 2. I wonder if this being the first cold night we've had in a while has anything to do with some of the command issues we're seeing from some of the PG pitchers.
It could be. There's definitely plenty of blankets out right now.
2-2 pitch is fouled straight back over the concession stand. I know there's one vehicle parked back there, and it happens to be one of our guys, so he was looking on at that one pretty intently. I didn't hear a ding or an alarm going off, so Cam, I think you're okay. Again, bases loaded, no one out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Woo! Oh my goodness! And Rhodes breaks out the old Uncle Charlie. Curveball strikes out Dylan Garton looking. Hadn't seen that one all night, Jay. It's tough to stay in there on that.
It is, and I think he was waiting on a fastball, and that is not what he delivered.
No, that ball broke about 3 feet. It's going to bring up Braylon Blair, center fielder. He singled into right field, scored a run. That ball's hit pretty well to left field. Looks like we've got a play on it. The catch is made, but it's deep enough to score a run. That's going to be Hunter Burks. He's going to score the 6th run of the game for the Leopards.
And with the game already in the 3rd, up by 6, that definitely is worth the RBI out.
Oh yeah, you'll absolutely trade the out for a run there. That extends the lead to 6. That brings up Nate Moore, his 3rd at bat in 3 innings. Nate is hitting .489 coming into tonight, and he has grounded out to shortstop and been hit by a pitch. So that average is sitting somewhere around 470-ish right now, which isn't too shabby. As Rhodes.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to work with Nate's father for quite a while, and Nate has been playing baseball for as long as he can walk.
Something tells me Dad didn't throw many of those in the backyard growing up.
No, that was ugly.
Nice curveball again by Rhodes. Gets ahead 0-2. If he could come in here and limit the damage and give him a shot to come back. We saw him Tuesday night peck away a little bit. That's the goal here. The 0-2 pitch from Rhodes is flared into center. Looks like we've got a play on it here. Play's made by Brock Bearden out there, and that's going to retire the side. And the Leopards score 3 more to extend the lead to 6. We're going to take a quick 30-second commercial break. We'll be right back. We're back with you as Brock Bearden leads us off here in the top of the 4th. First pitch from Parker Goodman.
Yeah, ideally, you've got 4 innings left, so you basically break this down to 4 small games and just try to get 1 or 2 runs in the last 4 innings to make this a game. Just don't think you just have the mindset to go get 6 in 1 inning.
Correct, and if you, it's doable because Goodman's only goal here is to throw strikes. Right, so if you hit the plate looking to drive the ball, he's going to give you something to hit because you can't let Pleasant Grove walk their way back into this one. As we say that, Brock singles to center field with a pretty well hit ball there. It's going to bring up Alex Galvin. Grounded out to second, his first time up in the first inning. He's playing right field tonight.
And the Hawks do have the strength of their order coming up during this inning, so
that's right.
There's a good chance that they could get a couple runs back here, if not a little bit more.
Alex is hitting 400 this year. Again, we're early, but still, not something to sniff at there. First pitch is taken a little low from Parker Goodman.
And with Brock's speed, he's definitely going to get the eye of the pitcher.
For sure. Now, I don't know that trying to take a base here down by 6 is the greatest idea.
No,
but
it could take the pitcher off his game.
Exactly. As that ball is roped to right field.
Oh, and it got past it.
Past the right fielder.
This will score at least 1. Good base hit and misplaying the ball allows Pleasant Grove to get 1 on the board.
That's right, and it gets a runner on third base with less than 2 outs. Looks like Coach is going to have a little discussion with the infield here.
Well, you got Alex Murphy up to bat and then Tucker Anderson right behind him. So surely Pleasant Grove gets at least 2 on the board this inning, you would think.
You would think so, with 4 and 5 coming up here and a runner on third with less than 2 outs. I would think 1 would be the minimum expectation here.
And although Liberty Eylau did have a powwow at the mound, I don't see any sense of urgency or any type of apprehension from their part. This is still their game to win.
That's right. Just keep throwing strikes and let them hit their way on. First pitch breaking ball is in the dirt.
It's fun watching these multi-sport athletes out there, and Alex Murphy is definitely one of them.
First pitch is swung through. Not sure what that was. It looked like it had a little break to it, maybe a cutter of some sort. 1-1 count. Pitch from Goodman. Another curveball, and that's in there for a strike. Ball's put in play to shortstop. A well-hit ball, and the play's made, but it does score a run. And with one out in the top of the fourth, Pleasant Grove is on the board with 2.
And that cut the lead down to 4. So 4 runs a little bit easier to claw back the last few innings of this game.
That's right. It's going to bring up Tucker Anderson with 1 out here in the 4th. First pitch is swung on and dribbled foul left of the third base bag. The 0-1 pitch is in there for a strike. Another nice curveball. I haven't had a chance to see Tucker get into one in a game, but from what I see in batting practice, he can put a charge in a ball.
He can, and he has had a very good summer in his travel ball, and so I would imagine you'll start seeing that express itself, especially once the team gets into the playoffs.
And the 1-2 pitch is lined foul. Third base line, and my co-pilot Brian Bold is back with dinner from the concession stand. Looks like he is eating
kale salads.
Yeah, he's eating
that
some
is
sort
great.
of superfood over there.
That is awesome.
He brought us hot dogs, so thank you, sir. The restraint it takes for a man to go to the concession stand at the baseball field and come back with a kale salad is amazing. Didn't even know they had that here, Brian. There's a curveball lined into left field. Really nice job of hitting there by Tucker Anderson. I believe he's seen that curveball just a few too many times tonight. He was able to recognize that spin and sit back on it and line that into left field.
And it's always easier once you start seeing the pitcher release point.
Second and third time through for sure. Another line drive single into, oh no, never mind, that's going to be caught. Stayed up a little bit in the wind. So Cason Head lines out to center field.
Yeah, the wind definitely kept that one up. I would have sworn as it came off the bat that it was going to get down, but great play by the center fielder.
Good break on that ball, yes sir. It's going to bring up Josh Brown. He's playing second base for Pleasant Grove tonight. He flew out to center in his first at bat. Tucker Anderson with a smallish lead at first. Another curveball in there for a strike. Another breaking ball gets away from the catcher. Tucker Anderson's going to advance to second without a throw.
I think it would probably take a gap hit for Tucker to get all the way around, but anything out of the infield would at least get him on the corners.
He froze him with a fastball in 0-2.
Wow.
Caught him dead red. He was looking curveball, and he snuck a fastball by
Great
him.
pitch.
So, absolutely.
But I would think that Pleasant Grove would say that was a successful inning for them. to get 2 back on the board.
Absolutely.
Trailing 6-2 now.
This game looked there for a moment like we may all be heading home early tonight. Bases loaded, nobody out in 3 innings. But just like Tuesday night, Pleasant Grove is chipping away. And hopefully they can make this a ball game.
Well, I think what Carson Rhodes needs to do is be able to just calm down, get some strikes in there, whether it's strikeouts through him or just the support from the defense. But a 3 up, 3 down for Pleasant Grove would mean a lot. And, you know, I hate to seem that much of a homer that I'm a PG fan, but I can't go without, you know, giving LE a nod that they are doing extremely well, you know, with the bat in their hand.
Absolutely.
And, you know, moving guys when they need to. I mean, anytime that you can put 6 up in the first 3 innings in a high school game, you're doing something right.
That's right. And the first 3 innings, the Liberty Eylau Leopards have reached base 5 times by walk or hit by pitch. So that's something that they're going to have to limit here if they want to stay in this game.
And that has been a little bit of the story. You know, when you're putting 5 extra runners on there without forcing them to earn that by a base hit, it definitely creates a little stress on the pitching. It's going to change what you call to be able to throw.
And with that being said, only being down 6-0 after all of that was an accomplishment. So here's your first pitch to Zach Brush, our left fielder for Liberty Eylau, who came into tonight hitting .278 with a .490 on-base percentage. Lets me know he's got a pretty good eye at the plate. He flew out to right field his first time up, struck out swinging his second. The 0-1 pitch is a beautiful curveball from Carson Rhodes, I believe. Is that his name? Yes, sir.
Of course, the lights are on. We don't quite need them, but the shadows are definitely getting long on the infield.
The 0-2 pitch from Rhodes. Another slow breaker is lined into right field. That's a heck of a piece of hitting there by Zach Brush.
And Liberty Eylau has placed about 4 hits like that tonight. Not necessarily just all the power in the world, but just placing it perfectly just outside the reach of the infield.
Exactly, and I'll bring it up again. Remember the pregame show, they just give you good at-bats. They never give in, they never quit, and just staying back and fouling balls off and getting something you could put in play and see what happens.
Yeah, I was listening to y'all talk about number 23 earlier, and he's got a little size on him.
Gage Bellotti
Gage is a big guy.
And he's a heck of a pitcher. He went Tuesday night, so he was unable to go tonight, but he can put a charge in these baseballs. I get a chance to see these box scores every night as the runner takes off for second. Fantastic jump. He's late with a throw and it gets away, but he's able to keep him on second as Zach Brush steals second base.
What a previous at bat, Gage was able to take a pitch that really wasn't his and put it just over the third baseman's head to be able to get on base.
That's right. He singled, scored a run last inning, flew out to center field in his first at bat. So Gage Bellotti, the Leopards, arguably the Leopards' biggest threat at the plate, is up with no outs, 2-0 count, and runner in scoring position. I look for something to be hit really hard here. The ball's taken for a strike. And back to the single in right field by Brush. That was a good pitch by Rhodes. Just you really can't control what happens to that baseball once somebody puts it into play weekly like that. So.
Right.
The 2-1 pitch is a little high. Brings up a heck of a hitter's count here for a heck of a hitter. You don't want to put another guy on the easy way, so I think everyone here knows what's coming and knows where it's going to be. So Mr. Bellotti, swing hard and be early. And that's what he's done. And he's popped it out to center field. He got under it a hair, but it may be deep enough to advance the runner to third. It looks like the throw and a play, and he's in there.
Brock's throw was just a little bit behind the runner, but that was a deep spot to throw from to try to throw him out, but it was on the money.
So productive at bat from Bellotti there. He gets the runner to third with less than 2 outs. With their cleanup hitter, Colby Brooks, who's the DH tonight. He's walked twice and scored a run both times on. Now he's got a chance to drive one in to extend the lead to 5.
Is he going to throw down that perfect bunt that you love?
I doubt you clean up hitters bunting here.
Fill it up, kid. Fill it up.
I was telling Brian the first inning and the second inning when the bases were loaded, the Eylaus didn't bunt at all. So.
Right. Well, that was one of the strengths that I saw early in the season with them is they're definitely going to be a hitting club. And it's tough to tell your big sluggers to throw one down the line.
And the 1-0 pitch is missed outside, so it brings up 2-0 to the cleanup man, Colby Brooks. That ball is lined into right field, definitely deep enough to score the run. And just like that, Liberty Eylau answers back to make it 7-2. As Gage Bellotti
and with a team that gives up 2 runs to take the goose egg off, to be able to get one back, that's got to be a little demoralizing to Pleasant Grove to give back one of those hard-fought runs.
Yeah, that's one of those things about baseball. That ball deserved every bit the outcome that the single from Brush did.
Right.
Hit incredibly well, just at the wrong spot. All in all, good at bat for Mr. Colby Brooks. That brings up Hunter Burks, the second baseman. He's reached base both times up tonight. First on a walk, scored on a wild pitch, and then reached on an error and scored a run as well. The 2-0 pitch is lined straight back into the concession stand. The 2-1 pitch is high. Jay, before we're running tight on time, we appreciate you joining us.
Oh, absolutely.
We appreciate State Bank, everything they do for Texarkana Game Day in the community. And next time we're out at PG, we may invite you back out.
Would love to join you.
It looks like we got another couple minutes here as the 3-1 pitch is high. And Hunter Burks trots down to first with a walk. He's reached base all 3 times tonight. That's going to bring up Bryce Blackwell. He's playing first base tonight. He's also reached both times tonight. Scored 1 run. He reached on a single and a hit by pitch. Carson Rhodes needs to buckle down here and just throw some strikes and give the Hawks a chance to get back in the dugout and score some runs. First pitch running, great jump, throws a little wide. Hunter Burks still second.
Yeah, I think now just for Rhodes, he just needs to concentrate on just getting this out so they can get out of the inning. And basically just figure out how they're going to work their last 9 outs to be able to get those runs back. And just find a way to keep Liberty Eylau off the board. Only the first inning was Liberty Eylau held scoreless. I've just been impressed at how much patience each one of their batters has been.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun matchup. We'll get to do it twice more this year. Not sure where that one is, but it's popped up behind the plate. And the play is made. That's Carson Rhodes retiring the batter. And that's going to do it for the Leopards here in the 4th. They were able to notch another run. And again, Jay, we appreciate you joining us.
Not a problem.
We'll
I think Brian's got my kale salad warmed up, and I'm fixing to get into hit.
All right. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with you for the top of the 5th.
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is the kind of person you need. Express Employment Professionals can help. Because we understand what it takes to hire good people. It takes real people, real interviews. We find good people, matching the right skills for the right jobs. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
Welcome back here to Liberty Eylau after a short break and a good hot dog. I'm back with you, and we are live here on the campus of the Liberty Eylau Leopards as they lead the crosstown rival Pleasant Grove Hawks 7-2 as we enter the top of the 5th inning. We want to make sure and give a big shout out to State Bank for being the sponsor of our pregame show tonight, as well as a great sponsor for Texarkana Game Day for each and every season of the year. Go see the friendly people at State Bank at their many locations around the area. So first pitch from number 16, Parker Goodman, is going to go to the backstop. A second pitch fastball is going to be fouled over the first base dugout by number 18, Blake Jennings from the Pleasant Grove Hawks. Third pitch on the way, going to be a fastball inside. Blake Jennings barely gets out of the way for ball number 2. Next pitch, a fastball down in the zone, going to be popped out to right field. Going to be caught by number 18, Ron Garza, for the first out of the 5th inning.
Now batting for the Hawks, left fielder number 4, Hayden Kohler.
So as the left fielder number 4, Hayden Kohler, comes to the plate. Parker Goodman, an off-speed pitch, going to be outside the zone for ball number 1 here on the top of the 5th inning with 1 out. What a great job that you guys did while I was gone. I was listening on my phone.
Thank you. Thank you.
And a check swing by Kohler. First base umpire says he did not go. That's going to be ball number 2.
While you were away, Pleasant Grove did a little pecking away.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I was what was holding Pleasant Grove back. Next pitch going to be fouled over the backstop for the first strike of the at-bat to number 4, the left fielder Hayden Kohler. Going to bring his count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Next pitch fastball down in the zone for ball number 3. As Kohler steps back in, he's met with a 3-1 count. The next pitch from Parker Goodman right down the middle for strike number 2. Going to bring a full count. Next pitch going to be fouled there at the plate. Still a full count. Umpire will brush the plate off to give the catcher a second to recoup from taking that foul ball off of the chest. And now we're back to play. Parker Goodman delivers. And it's going to be popped up on the infield. Nate Moore, the shortstop, backpedals into shallow center field and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. A nice play there by number 5, Nate Moore.
That's right. It's going to bring up Brenton Clark, the designated hitter. He grounded out to short his first time up and struck out swinging second.
First pitch fastball down the middle. Going to be swung on and missed for strike number 1. And strike number 2 called to the DH, Brenton Clark. And quickly there's 2 outs and 2 strikes here to Brenton Clark. Parker Goodman to the plate. And it's going to be a ground ball to Nate Moore. He scoops it up and fires over to first base for the 3rd out of the inning. A Stretching grab by number 21, Bryce Blackwell. And just like that, it's 3 up and 3 down with nobody left on, no hits, and no run score. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th inning.
That was a big inning for Parker Goodman. His team got one of those runs back for him, and he came out and pounded the zone and let his defense do the work, and they did.
Absolutely, came back out and just like we talked about, not throwing a lot of balls. You know, he did throw a couple, but he's not walking anybody. And so when you can keep it in the zone and make them hit it or strike them out, then it's going to be easy to keep your team in the game.
That's right. Now you've got your opponent down to 6 outs. And if you can put some pressure on them right here, you know, you're in here looking for the knockout blow. And Parker Goodman, the pitcher, is going to lead it off for Liberty Eylau here. He struck out in his first at bat, walked in his second, and that walk earned an RBI because the bases were loaded.
And so as he comes to the plate, number 9, Carson Rhodes, will continue on the mound.
Did you get a chance to see a few of these very slow curveballs Carson
I did.
throwing?
I did. And a fastball down the middle, fouled to the backstop for strike number 1.
The home plate ump's going to have to collect that one himself.
Number 16, Parker Goodman, with 1 strike. So as we get play back underway, Rhodes comes to the plate. Another fastball outside corner, not close enough for ball number 1. Going to even the count up with 1 ball and 1 strike. To Goodman. There's one of those big hanging curveballs that did not catch the strike zone for ball number 2. Rhodes comes to the plate. A fastball going to be fouled back over the top of our table here. Going to bring the count even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Delivering the pitch and swung on, a ball out of the zone, but swung on by Goodman for strike number 3, brings the first out of the inning.
And that curveball he showed up a few times is what did that.
And number 10, Dylan Garton for the Leopards will come to the plate at this time. First pitch to him from Rhodes. Going to be fouled down the third base line for strike number 1. An off-speed pitch there for the first pitch strike. And so as the temp drops, we're at 61 degrees here in Liberty Eylau, and the wind has, thank goodness, died down, because it would really be cold if it was whipping like it was during pregame.
I was anticipating low 50s, so I'm very happy with 62. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I can live with that. There's
a
that
nice hanging curveball that does fall in there, called for strike number 2. Going to bring the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes on number 10, Dylan Garton. Fastball fouled back over the backstop. So the count will stay the same. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Liberty Eylau Leopards leading the Pleasant Grove Hawks 7-2. Another one fouled to the backstop, and so Garton is hanging in there, fouling him off and making Carson Rhodes throw more pitches. And so after that foul ball, we're back to action. Garton steps in, Rhodes delivers. And a high curveball popped up to the shortstop. Number 18, Blake Jennings will make the grab for out number 2.
I was laughing. That ball was above his head, Brian.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was chopping wood there. I think he thought it was going to fall into the zone, and it didn't, and he already had his mind made up to swing, and so he just took a hack at it and popped it up to number 18, Blake Jennings, and that will bring up the second out of the inning. This one's going to be popped up to shallow right field. The second baseman, number 3, Josh Brown, will backpedal out into shallow right field and make the grab for the third out of the inning. And so with no hits, no errors, and no runs scored, we're headed to the top of the 6th with the Liberty Eylau Leopards leading the Pleasant Grove Hawks 7-2. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be back with the 6th inning.
If you're looking for authentic Cajun-style meats prepared and ready to cook and take home, look no further here in your own home. Come by Lanyap Specialty Meats for all your tailgating needs for this football season or hunting season. Remember, Lanyap Specialty Meats.
Lanyap's is an official sponsor and proud supporter of Texarkana Game Day.
All right, we're back, Brian. As we bring you back in, the PA guys chosen to drive us all insane with the Baby Shark, but I don't have a kid old enough to have been into this song, but I've heard it enough to know that it's not something adults love hearing all that often.
Well, I think it's so catchy that the kids just wore it out. But
Cam, give me a head nod. Have you heard this a bunch of times at the house? A disgusted look and a head shake, yes.
And so as Dylan Garton throws down to second, we're starting the 6th inning here at Leopard Field.
And if Pleasant Grove's going to do it, this is going to be where it happens. Our
they need to get
hitters
something going on right here. And, speaking of the pregame that was sponsored by State Bank today, our very own State Bank guy, Jay Davis, and correspondent with Texarkana Game Day, just came and brought hot chocolate to all of the camera guys here at the ballpark. Now, I don't know if State Bank bought that or if he just bought it, but nonetheless.
Unprompted, I presume.
A good community bank there for you with great employees. So we do appreciate Jay for all he does, even though he didn't bring me one, but we appreciate it.
State Bank loves the kids.
And the second pitch fastball going to be outside and called for ball. Number 2.
Our producer caught that reference. Be 2-0 to Brock Bearden. And if you are Parker Goodman, you want to start throwing strikes here. You're going to have to make them earn it. And as I say that, the 2-0 pitch misses a little high.
And ball number 4, a low fastball. There are going to be 4 straight balls there. And Coach Zach Fowler will call time and make his way out to talk to his pitcher. Looks like he's going to make a pitching change here. Looks like number 5. Let's see who number 5 is here.
That's quite an outing by Parker Goodman. Definitely worth being applauded. He goes a little over 5 innings, unable to retire a batter in the 6th, but allowed 5 hits, only 2 runs, and he leaves with a 5-run lead.
And a good call there by Coach Zach Fowler to pull him before things got out of hand. He walked 1 batter, and he's going to bring in a shortstop, number 5, Nate Moore, to take the mound, and he's going to bring in number 4, Xander Hall, to come in to play shortstop now. So a few changes here. I have number 4, Xander Hall, come in at the shortstop position. And number 5, Nate Moore, move to the mound for the Leopards. And so as we are joined by Mr. Langford himself, we would like to say our big thanks for Langford Roofing for being a great sponsor for Texarkana Game Day. And he has just gotten off of work because he is such a busy man. And so he He's just getting here to the ballpark, but a big thing to them. So as our new pitcher, Nate Moore, warms up on the mound, let's just recap so far in this game. It's not over by a long shot, but what a solid game Liberty Eylau has put together so far, and this is 2 outings that we've seen them be so sharp. Very impressed with the Liberty Eylau club and also the Pleasant Grove, but Liberty Eylau just looking very good here in this game. First pitch fastball right down the middle by number 5, Nate Moore, the shortstop, and he had a little gas on that one. It's going to be fouled
by Alex Galvin.
Yeah, and it's going to be fouled to the backstop. And
Alex singled in his last at bat and scored a run.
Alex has had a strong last couple games.
He had a good rip at that fastball.
A big kid from the left side of the plate. And there's the first breaking ball in the dirt to the backstop. And
what a base
he's going to take third base on the miscue. The catcher, Dylan Garton, did not know where the ball was. And so the base runner Brenton Clark. Nope, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Brock.
That is Brock Bearden, who is on third, makes his way all the way from first to third. And so a runner in scoring position with no outs, and the next pitch low. Going to bring the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. No outs here in the top of the 6th.
That's right. This has all the makings of a rally. The 3-1 pitch or 2-1 pitch is fouled back over the home dugout. That's the third base side of the field.
And that's going to bring the count even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. As number 6, Alex Galvin, steps back in.
Nate Moore has something off speed. I believe now is the first time we're going to see it.
And so another fastball, check swung and fouled.
Fastball up in the zone. He's able to check his swing, but stays alive.
I believe if he would have held off, we would have a full count, but nonetheless, he swung and fouled it off down the third base side, and it's going to bring up the count to 2-2. Next pitch in the dirt, now going to bring up the full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a good stop by Dylan Garton.
As the Canadian Geese give us a fly over here. What majestic birds.
What about those geese says Canadian to you? Are you a hunter?
Well, absolutely. Those are actually called greater Canadians. There is a smaller one that are called lesser.
Where are his buddies? There's only 2 of them. I thought they flew in packs.
They fly in flocks.
Flocks, okay.
A pack is, I think, wolves.
Yeah, you can probably look at me and tell I've never been in a duck blind.
And one fouled off the handle of the bat coming home,
play,
and he's going to be safe. He was there safely, and one side of the field is liking it and one side is not. Coach Zach Fowler is going to come out, but that was a great call by the home plate umpire. The runner.
As Coach Fowler discusses things with the umpire, I'm secretly hoping they don't look at us and ask for a replay. I don't know if we have the technology for that.
Well, I was watching it, and I thought he beat it by a pretty good ways.
Yeah, he was clearly safe.
Good
but
play all the way around, he comes
though.
out, yep. And so Pleasant Grove scores a run here in the top of the 6th inning and takes our score to Liberty Eylau 7, Pleasant Grove 3. If you're just now joining us, it's been a pretty good ball game. If you look at the scoreboard, you might not think as well, but very easily right now, Pleasant Grove can get right back in this ball game.
That brings in Alex Murphy playing third base tonight. Looks like.
And so a pickoff to first base is going to get the base runner, Alex Galvin. And he's going to be called out on the pickoff play. And so the first out of the inning is going to come on a base runner. Pickoff move to first. And then right back to it. Nate Moore fires a fastball for strike number 1. And a second fastball outside going to be called for the second ball. Going to be 2 balls and 1 strike. It's number 13, the third baseman, Alex Murphy, is at the plate. Another fastball low and swung on for strike number 2.
On Alex Murphy, third base for Pleasant Grove. He singled in his first trip to the plate, was caught stealing second base, but drove in one of the Pleasant Grove's run his second time around.
Swung on and missed for strike number 3 and the second out of the inning for the Leopards here, and man, they are rolling right now.
They are. I believe I heard a foul tip there, but it doesn't matter with 2 strikes. That's a strikeout.
Fouled it right into the glove of the catcher. As long as he hangs on to it, it's called an out, and so they have scored 1.
And that brings up big Tucker Anderson.
And with 2 outs here, yes, number 23, the first baseman, Tucker Anderson, steps into the box here, and second pitch to him is going to be low for ball number 2. The count's going to be 2 balls and no strikes.
And Tucker reached base his last plate appearance with a single to left field, a hard hit single to left field. And he flew out to left in the second. The 2-0. It's in there for a strike. Nate Moore is just filling the zone up with fastballs, and that's pretty much all you can ask of your relief pitcher coming in with a 4-run lead.
Another fastball.
Misses away.
Off the glove of the catcher, Dylan Garton. Going to be for ball number 3. And this one's going to be popped up to the second baseman. And the second baseman, Hunter Burks, is going to come out with the 3rd out of the inning, making a catch at second base. And with 1 run scored, the Pleasant Grove Hawks take a little away from the lead. They score 1 run in the top of the 6th, going to bring our score to Liberty Eylau 7, Pleasant Grove 3. And it looks like we're going to see number 9, Carson Rhodes trot back out to the mound for the Hawks.
And that's going to bring up the top of the order again for Liberty Eylau. This is going to be Nate Moore's 5th plate appearance in 6 innings. I don't know how often that happens in high school games, going 7 innings, coming to the plate 5 times, but it has tonight, and it's still a ball game. That's the surprising part.
So I was just checking a score on my phone while we have a little downtime here. And, you know, my Arkansas Razorbacks are ranked number 1 in NCAA baseball right now. I'm actually heading up to Fayetteville. Going to make the 4-hour trek up there tomorrow to Baum Stadium and watch them play. But they are playing their Friday night game right now. It is the bottom of the 2nd inning. They're starting SEC play against Alabama. Alabama is beating the Razorbacks 10-1 right now in the bottom of the 2nd. So I don't think that there is a flat tire. I think the wheel has completely fallen off there in Fayetteville tonight. So hopefully tomorrow, with the 4-hour trek up there that we're going to make, that the Razorbacks have a little better showing tomorrow than what's happening tonight. But still a lot of game left, so you never know what's going to happen. But we are here heading into the bottom of the 6th here in Texarkana. And if you're just now joining us, the Liberty Eylau Leopards lead the Pleasant Grove Hawks 7-3 as we're ready for the first pitch of the bottom of the 6th inning.
I got 5 on it, Brian. Tomorrow goes a little better for Arkansas.
Well, I sure hope so. And a bunt laid down, a beautiful one, and it's going to be close, and he's going to be out at first base. Number 5, the shortstop who is coming to pitch now for Liberty Eylau, lays down a pretty good bunt. He's a fast guy, but he is thrown out by the pitcher, Carson Rhodes, at first base. So Nate Moore comes in and is the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning.
Brian, that was another song reference. The PA announcer was
I absolutely knew.
Okay, I didn't know where you went to school or what kind of Charlie Pride y'all listened to.
I still have that on my phone.
Quite a stark difference from Baby Shark, the previous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash to Baby Shark to I got 5 on it. So we'll hear a little California Love next.
The 1-0 pitch is a little high from Carson Rhodes.
And Zach Brush, the left fielder, is at the plate now. Brush comes in with a .278 batting average. The third pitch is going to be called for a strike. The count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yes, sir, and that batting average a little higher at the moment. He's 1 for 3
to Brush.
tonight. I'm not a math major, but 333 is higher than 278, so that's going up.
And the next pitch is going to be fouled right over the top of us for strike number 2, going to bring the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 6th inning with 1 out. Carson Rhodes to the plate. Next pitch blows it by Brush for out number 2. And with 2 outs, number 23, Gage Bellotti.
Big Gage Bellotti.
Big Gage Bellotti.
He's flown out to center twice tonight and roped a single into right field and scored a run.
So as he steps in, Carson Rhodes delivers a fastball high, and that one's going to be called for strike number 1.
High for everyone else. I think Cage stands about 6'2".
It was about hand high. But nonetheless, it's called strike number 1. This one knee high, not called strike number 2. It's going to be called for a ball, going to bring the count even 1-1. That may have been a little payback there. So a hanging curveball going to be dribbled up the middle, and Gage Bellotti.
Gage Bellotti can move down that line, can he?
He was not moving very quickly, but nonetheless, he gets on first base, and that's going to be a hit for Gage Bellotti. He pounds one into the ground that takes a huge hop over the pitcher and then dies before it gets to the second baseman. And Gage Bellotti is in with a hit.
In the box score, that looks just like a line drive to center field.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I've been known to embellish some things, so I'll call it that.
So with his first hit of the night, they're going to bring in a runner for him, who is going to be number 11, Crayson Battle. And Bellotti's going to trot over to the dugout.
That's going to bring up Colby Brooks. He's DHing tonight.
And first pitch, he's gone and going to have another stolen base. That is Liberty Eylau's 4th stolen base tonight.
And Colby has walked twice, scored 2 runs, and driven in a run.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good night at the plate.
Right.
And so number 2, he's also a pretty big guy, steps in, the designated hitter, Colby Brooks.
Now with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs.
Carson Rhodes goes to work on him and almost hits him. Brooks spins out of the way for ball number 2. And so with a runner on second and 2 outs, designated hitter Colby Brooks gets ball number 3, a breaking ball on the outside corner. Brings our count to 3 balls and no strikes.
Brian, I'm afraid you spoke a little too soon with the weather, and I'm starting to get pretty chilly.
But we don't have many outs left, so one way or another, someone's going to win this game in 7 innings.
Looks like they're going to intentionally walk him, which is probably a good call with the account being 3-0.
Statistically there, that's a good coaching call. Just going to put him on base and not take the chance of one of their best hitters.
And Hunter Burks is having himself a night as well.
He is as well. So here you come with Mr. Burks right behind him. Not a power hitter, a smaller guy. Plays second base for Liberty Eylau. They're going to try for a pickoff there.
And Colby has walked twice tonight, scored 2 runs. He's reached on an error and stolen a base. So he's done a little bit of everything.
He's done a little bit of everything.
That's right.
So with the pickoff move to second, the runner, Crayson Battle, gets back safely.
That's right. The one thing he hasn't done tonight is drive in a run, but based on the speed we saw out of Battle, a single here almost certainly gets that done.
And so Carson Rhodes steps off the back of the rubber. Time will be called, and as quick as it was called, we're back to action. Number 1, Hunter Burks, awaits his first pitch, and there's another pickoff move, and he's safe. The throw did get there in time, but the hand and the tag did not meet. And so safely he'll be called at second. A good move by number 9, Carson Rhodes. And Burks awaits his first pitch of his at bat. And he'll get it here, a high fastball for ball number 1. And so with 2 outs, a runner on first and second, the count is 1-0 to Hunter Burks. The second pitch inside and low for ball number 2. Kaysen Head quickly on top of that pitch to make sure that a run does not advance to third. And so Hunter Burks steps back into the box with 2 balls and no strikes. Rhodes steps off the back of the rubber. Battle's getting a nice lead over there as we saw Battle steal the first pitch that he was in as a runner. He does have some speed. A base hit will score here. And to the plate, a high off-speed pitch from Rhodes brings the count to 3 balls and no strikes to second baseman Hunter Burks.
And the lefty swinging first baseman Bryce Blackwell is on deck waiting for his turn to drive some runs in.
Here's the 3-0 pitch right down the middle, called for strike number 1. Will bring the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. With Bryce Blackwell standing in the on-deck circle. So the 3-1 pitch to the plate, low in the dirt, and another walk, number 1. Second baseman Hunter Burks will trot down to first base. And number 21, who I believe was hit by a pitch on his last at bat, comes to the left side of the plate. And number 21, Bryce Blackwell, will take on Carson Rhodes with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
And that's 9 base runners tonight for Liberty Eylau via the walk or the hit by pitch.
Yeah. And so first pitch to Blackwell. A big swing, but a miss for strike number 1.
Now, that's technically, if he's able to yank one out of here, that's a walk-off home run, right? That'll put us at 10 runs?
Well, yeah.
Technically,
yeah.
Looked like he was aiming just to do that.
Well, and if he does, this place will absolutely come unglued. Again, a great crowd here at Liberty Eylau, and they're going to steal home, and he's safe.
Gracious.
And he's going to be called out. Oh! He was safe and called out. I've never seen that in high school baseball.
A straight steal of home.
A steal of home, and called out for out number 3. And Coach Fowler is out, and he is arguing it, but it is not going to help. So with a wild ending to inning number 6. Wow.
He had a heck of a jump, too. He had that stolen all the way.
There was 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left on.
I've always assumed, I've never had the speed to try that, but that's got to be terrifying.
And I'm sorry if it sounds so crazy, but I mean, what a gutsy call with you know, your guy's not swinging there. I mean, and if we go back and watch the replay, I mean,
I think he may have been safe.
He was definitely safe, but it doesn't matter what we think, and so he was called out, but I've never seen that in high school baseball. Never seen a coach make that call, and I've never seen
have him execute it.
Yeah. And it was actually executed very well. And, you know, kudos to Pleasant Grove. I mean, if you get the out, you trot off the field. There's no replay. There's no appeal. It is what it is. And so we move on to the top of the 7th inning. And so the Leopards lead the Hawks 7-3. And so the Hawks have 3 outs.
A lot of
And
our
so
fans
first
watching.
pitch here to the second baseman, going to be over for out number 1 if he stayed on the base, and he did. Number 21, Bryce Blackwell, kept his foot on the base for out number 1, and that was shortstop number 1, Hunter Burks, who fielded that.
It's going to bring up Josh Brown, playing second base tonight for Pleasant Grove. He's flown out to center and struck out in his only 2 plate appearances tonight.
First pitch to him, fouled back right over our microphone. To the backstop, and number 3, Josh Brown, the second baseman for the Hawks. His second pitch in the dirt, going to bring a count to 1-1. And so we were watching as some of the comments were coming in on Facebook, and it's kind of a... This one going to be poked out into center field, and a nice running catch by center fielder number 3, Braylon Blair. And Liberty Eylau is 1 out away from being 3-0 in conference. A great conference start from them.
That's right. That's a couple times tonight our center fielder, Braylon, has had really good jumps and made balls that shouldn't look that easy, look really easy.
Absolutely. And so with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning, Pleasant Grove is down to their last out.
And just like Tuesday night, they're turning to Traveler Couch off the bench.
Absolutely. Here he comes. And if this kid comes up with a hit here, and either it gets on base or hits a home run, I'm going to go ahead and say it. He is the most clutch kid in Texarkana.
Okay.
At least this baseball season.
I thought you were going to make a pun with his name.
No. And so first pitch to him is a ball, going to bring the count to 1 ball and no strikes.
Get some information that he's known for the walk-off. He's done it a few times. Did it in Showcase this year.
Well, and here is a dribbler to the shortstop.
He's moving.
And he is going to be on safely. And they grant him the hit. So it will go down as a hit in the official book. So down to their last out, they call on number 10, the hero from just a few nights ago, Traveler Couch. And with the slow dribbler to the shortstop, he beats the throw out, and he is on first base. So that will bring up
Hayden Kohler, our
number
left fielder.
4, Hayden Kohler.
If he can get on base here, extend this inning, and let the top of the order come up, they've got a shot.
And so back to the stolen base at home. I want us to discuss that. So if you are at home watching, I want you to comment and tell us whether you thought he was safe or out. Of course, he's called out, so it doesn't matter. But as soon as the game's over, we're going to have a conversation about this for about 1 minute.
That may be the most exciting play in baseball.
That was the most exciting play that I've seen all night, and I hate that he was called out. And here's one to the shortstop again. He'll throw across the diamond to first, and he's going to be called safe at first. And so the foot comes off the bag. Number 21, Bryce Blackwell, does a great job over at first base for Liberty Eylau and stretches all the way out. But his foot just comes off the bag.
And he did what he had to do, right?
Number
he
4,
put a ball in play. And
number 4, Hayden Kohler,
and the top
put the
of
ball in
order's
play and beat the throw out. And so with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th, Pleasant Grove is down to their last out with a runner on first and second.
We're 1 base runner away from having the tying run at the plate in a game that I would have never imagined that would be the case in the second inning, right?
Can they do it twice in 1 week?
I'm rooting for, I take that, I don't know if I can technically can't root for anybody,
Well, I mean,
but I'm rooting for a tie.
We're not rooting, well, there's not going to be a tie.
No, I'm rooting for them
game.
to tie
Okay,
here, and
I
then we can get to the bottom of the half and see what happens.
We're not rooting for either team, just so everyone knows. And but both teams are playing great. I would love to see it happen. And so ball in the dirt, gonna advance the runners.
And that's an important play there.
And number 20.
It takes away your force outs to second and third.
Absolutely.
You're going to have to go the long way with the ground ball.
So
here.
with the time called, Coach Zach Fowler is going to come out and talk to his team. And the runners do advance on the wild pitch, going to bring the count to 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Pleasant Grove down to their last out as number 20, their designated hitter, Brenton Clark, is at the plate.
You know, I've made a few jokes about the song choices tonight, but I got to give him credit. The PA guy here is,
well, you know,
he's doing a job playing to his crowd.
I was talking to Morgan Smith about baseball.
Okay.
I don't remember what brought this up, but I told him you do not get the quality of music at any other sporting event that you do at baseball. It's all about the music. You're going to see a wide variety of it. They're going to turn it up loud, and it makes the baseball environment.
That's right.
And so I stand by that statement.
And I agree.
And so here's the 1-1 pitch. Going to be swung on and missed by Brenton Clark. And so Pleasant Grove not only down to their last out, they're down to their last strike.
I believe
the Leopards lead 7-3.
We said that a few times too.
Yeah, we have. And so let's see if they could do it again. Here's the pitch. It's going to be fouled over the third base dugout. So there will be another pitch to this game. And so with 2 outs, the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to the designated hitter, number 20, Brenton Clark. And here's the pitch.
And it's put in play.
Going to be put
down.
To the first baseman and number 21, Bryce Blackwell, makes the catch right down the first base line and steps on first base. And just like that, Liberty Eylau goes to 3-0 in district. And they defeat the Pleasant Grove Hawks by a score of 7-3 in 7 innings here at Liberty Eylau. And so as they celebrate on the field, we're going to move into a short post-game conversation.
That's right. And the shorter the better, so you can get your interviews in tonight.
Absolutely, and it's freezing cold. So
yeah, that too.
A great game by a couple guys. Nate Moore came in. Parker Goodman, the starting pitcher for Liberty Eylau. What a great game he pitched. And then the last 2 innings, Nate Moore came in and did a phenomenal job finishing off and closing the game for Liberty Eylau. Some gutsy but great coaching calls by Coach Zach Fowler. And just an all-around great game by Liberty Eylau. They had 5 hits, they committed 1 error, and they scored 7 runs in the game. Pleasant Grove played a great game as well. Just the ball did not roll their way tonight. And so they did score 3 runs. 2 in the 4th and 1 in the 6th. They did have 7 hits. They won the hit category tonight, and they did have 1 error in the game. And so the difference tonight was just really good defense by Liberty Eylau and really good pitching. Pleasant Grove struggled on the mound tonight, and that ended up being the difference in the game.
Well, and to me, the difference, as you can see the scoreboard there, Pleasant Grove out-hit them.
Yeah.
Drawing those 9 walks.
Well, and drawing walks.
The difference in the game tonight.
Absolutely. Yep.
And I'm excited we get to see these teams play each other twice more.
Absolutely. And so we're going to wrap things up here. We're going to go get an interview with a couple players and
Make sure you
the
ask
coach
about
here.
That stolen base. I want to hear him explain.
Yeah. And so we're going to go through the Facebook comments as soon as this is over. We're going to see how many people got on there and said he was safe or said he was out. Nonetheless, he was called out, so it really doesn't matter. But we'll have a little fun here. And so, but for Texarkana Game Day, we appreciate you so much for watching tonight, and what a great game and a great atmosphere it was here on the campus of Liberty Eylau High School. The place was packed. There was not a seat available in the house, and they were it was standing room only. And so for Frank Sides and Brian Bolt, we're here, Texarkana Game Day. We'll see you somewhere next week for live baseball action in Texarkana.